Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking on high blood pressure, which is a killer disease, a silent killer. High blood pressure is a common disorder in which the blood pressure remains abnormally high, a reading of about 140 stroke 90 mmHg or even higher. Another name for high blood pressure is hypertension. That is what most people call it. A lot of people know it as hypertension. From 80s down, high BP was known to be common among people in their 40s and above. But these days, high BP is also found in teenagers and those in their 20s. And the worst thing is that most people do not even know. The parents will not know that these children are having hypertension. The children themselves do not know what they're having. So they don't even know when or how to complain about it. And that is why it is more dangerous and more of a silent killer. So this child will be suffering in silence and being killed gradually. So many things setting in. The child will continue to suffer until a sudden death comes to a child who has done virtually nothing. Unfortunately, high blood pressure can happen without feeling any abnormal symptoms. You can see the reason why it is a silent killer. The person does not feel any abnormal symptoms over time. If not treated, it can cause health conditions such as heart disease and stroke. There are some likely signs that may occur at times. 1. Moderate or severe headaches. One will be having a severe headache, some will be having a moderate one, and they will just resort to painkillers like paracetamol, panadols, and so on, without knowing exactly what the problem is. And you know, headaches, especially in African society, most time people don't bother so much about headaches. They only take the paracetamols and the likes. Another thing that the person may be experiencing without knowing what it is all about is anxiety. You find out that the person is always in the state of anxiety. Then, shortness of breath. A person starts experiencing shortness of breath. If it's somebody who is already asthmatic, everybody thinks that, oh, the attack is about coming. And the person takes inhaler or whatever medicine that is used in the treatment. In extreme cases, some of them have nose bleeding, which is not common these days. It's not common again to see people with nose bleeding. Then palpitation or feeling of pulsations in the neck. The neck, person will be having some funny kind of feelings around the neck. Another is ringing in the ears. Some will be having ringings in their ears. Sleeplessness will set in, insomnia. A lot of people will be experiencing that. They don't know what's the reason why they are turning and turning throughout the night without having a normal sleep. Then confusion. You see that young child being confused most of the time. Even parents will be calling him or her some names. People around will be calling the person names. Nobody knows why the child is often confused. Then another is fatigue. You call the person a lazy person. Oh, you're so lazy, you're so lazy. You don't know that this child is already having cases of hypertension. Then at times there will be things like excess sweating. Excess sweating will be coming often. Even when you feel that the weather is cold, the person is sweating. The person is always feeling hot. Excess heat in the body. It is also important for us to know that there are some risk factors. There are risk factors. That is, there are people who have more risk than the other. What are the risk factors? What are the likely risk factors? 1, being overweight or obese is a risk factor to hypertension. Anyone who is obese has a greater risk of having high BP than a person of light weight. Another risk factor is not being physically active. If a person is not physically active, it is a danger. It is a danger sign. You must have a lifestyle that is, mobility. A lively lifestyle helps one to be free of developing high blood pressure. Everyone, whether you are overweight or not, must take to exercise. Even if it's just a little exercise every day. You can start by having like 30 minutes work 5 times a week. It will go a long way in helping you. Peradventure, you have already developed some, high blood pressure. By the time you start having some walk, just have a normal walk for 30 minutes. You find out that the BP will start going down gradually, little by little. Another thing that can bring about a risk factor to a person is using tobacco. The use of tobacco. The use of tobacco is another thing that can cause a person to develop high blood pressure, because the person will develop heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, and can also lead to stroke and heart attack. It is said that smokers are likely to die young. It is not just a saying, it is real. It is real. Smokers are likely to die young. Another thing that can make a person to be at risk is too much salt, sodium. Too much salt in your diet. Too much sodium can increase high BP, hypertension, high blood pressure. Another can be family history. Family history, that is where genetics come in. People always talk about genetics when it comes to diseases and ill health. If one is having a family history that are prone to heart attack, diabetes, stroke, it means that such a person is at greater risk of developing high blood pressure. Too little potassium in your diet. Potassium helps maintain normal level of fluids in our cells. So it helps muscles to contract and support normal blood pressure. So when we eat food and you eat food that has little or no potassium, the person is likely to develop high blood pressure. Then race. A lot of health personnel believe that the race of a person, the origin of a person, may constitute a risk factor to developing hypertension. Another is age. The age can be another. So the more you age, the more one's BP can grow higher. That is, it can be, but these are not the main thing. There are a lot of people who are old, really old, but they're not having high BP because of their lifestyles. Okay. There are certain foods that may raise blood pressure. What are those foods? I know everyone will be interested in knowing the kind of foods that they must try to avoid in order to have a stable blood pressure. So the food that are likely to raise your blood pressures are processed meats. It cannot be overemphasized. I know that a lot of people have been talking and screaming about it. Processed meat, such as bacon, hot dogs, sausages, they are high in salt and sometimes contain monosodium glutamate. So they are not healthy for us. So one must try to avoid them as much as possible. They are not healthy food that are recommended. I know it may be difficult for people to just wake up and say, oh, I won't take this anymore because we are used to it. But please, begin to cut down on it. Cut down gradually. Cut down. If you do take it every week before, you can start by just once every month. From there, you'll find that you can do without them. There are a lot of good things you can take and enjoy. So what are other food that are likely to raise your blood pressure? Canned foods. Canned foods. Why will canned food raise one's blood pressure? Because they have a lot of preservatives in them. There are so many preservatives, so many sodium chlorides, and they can be dangerous for us and can increase our blood pressures. There are other high sodium foods like potato chips, pickles. Most of all these packaged foods, all these things that are fried, even some plantain chips, they are packed with a lot of salt and they are not good for our body. Another thing is fried foods. A lot of people enjoy to eat something fried, but it is not good for our health. Consuming fried foods can raise your blood pressure. So if you must take fried food, just take it once in a while, if you feel you're missing out on something. But I know you can do without it, and you will not miss it. Just with time, you will forget there is something like fried food. So cook your fish, cook it well, put it in your stew, enjoy it. You don't need to fry it. Boil your chicken without water, just add whatever thing you're using to cook it. Wash it well and cook your chicken, you will enjoy it. So you do not need fried foods. Another is vegetable oil. There are a lot of them that are not good for our health. Margarine, because they are high in trans fats. They are so high in trans fats and they are not good for the body. They are prone to becoming rancid. That is, during manufacturing, they are exposed to light, oxygen and heat, which causes them to become oxidized. We need things, we don't need to eat things that are already oxidized. So we must avoid such kinds of vegetable oil. There's just so many of them in the market. Many of them, they are not good for our health. A lot of them can increase your bad cholesterol. Then, table salt, we cannot overemphasize it. It is one of the food that are not good for us because they can raise our blood pressure. Another is alcohol. Alcoholic drinks can raise our blood pressures. So let us make sure, let us try and avoid it. There is no good it does to our body. It can increase your risk to heart attack, stroke. Another food that can increase your blood pressure is refined and added sugar. Refined and added sugar can put you at risk of high blood pressure. Excess sugar can lead to diabetes, obesity, and inflammatory conditions. Another is soft drinks. People are fond of taking a lot of carbonated drinks, soft drinks. They are not good for us. Do you know that a small bottle of soft drink contains 9 teaspoons of sugar? 9 teaspoons of sugar is contained in just a small bottle of soft drinks, which is, that alone is a whole day, is more than enough for a whole day recommendation of sugar for us. So if you're taking just a drink that is already giving you a whole day, more than a whole day of what you're supposed to have, how much more other food you're going to eat? Your rice, your yam, your biscuits and other things that you do eat. So you do not need it. It does not do any good to your body. Another is salad dressings. Salad is good. That is vegetables. It gives you a lot of vitamins and mineral. But what of the dressings? A lot of people would like to pour, mayonnaise, salad cream. They will fill and decorate their plates with it. But the salad itself is healthy for you. But those salad creams are not good for you. They can raise your blood pressure. Why? They contain a lot of things. Some of them have the rancid vegetable oils in them. A lot of them are loaded with sugar, salt, and so many other things that are not healthy. Another thing that can raise one's blood pressure is animal food. Animal foods. Animal food should be avoided and minimized. Minimized as much as possible. It is good you go more on plant diets. Plant diets are healthy, but animal foods are not healthy for the body. So little or none of it is best for you. Particularly for a person who is already having high blood pressure, cut animal foods totally off from your diet. How can we lower our blood pressure? What are the things we can do to assist us to lower our blood pressure naturally? A person who is at risk, a person who is already having high blood pressure must increase daily activities and exercise. If you're the type that cross your leg in the house and you have people at your beck and call running errands for you, no, it is not good for your health. Make it a point of duty to get yourself engaged with, active things. Make yourself active. Make yourself active. Do one thing or the other. You can go and do some gardening, clear your compound, do one thing or the other. You can do your cleaning without hiring anybody to do that for you. Just make sure you increase your daily activity. Make your life more active. Then secondly, lose weight. Lose weight if you are already overweight. Are you a male? Are you a female? Are you young? Are you old? Lose weight. When you lose weight, it does a lot of good for you. I know in African society, when people see people that are not chubby, they always feel that, oh, these ones are not eating well, these ones are having one issue or the other. No. Overweight is the problem. When you are overweight, it's difficult for you to avoid so many diseases and infections. Even when there is a pandemic, most times overweight people are caught up in it. So lose weight if you're overweight. Cut back on sugar. If you have a sweet tongue, cut back on your sugar, especially every form of sugar, refined carbohydrates are not good for you. If you must eat carbohydrates, eat the natural ones. Your vegetables give you carbohydrates, in case you don't know. Even as they give you vitamins and minerals, they are also good source of carbohydrates for you. So when you eat a lot of vegetables and less of the real thing you know as carbohydrates, you still have your normal quantity of carbohydrates needed. Then what are other foods that we can take to lower our blood pressure? Eat more potassium-based food and less sodium. You know already that your sodium is salt. Eat more of potassium-based food. Or try as much as possible to use potassium to balance the sodium. When they are balanced, it will not give you issues. But when the sodium is high, more than your potassium, it can cause issues. It can increase your blood pressure. Then, I was going to talk on this. Stop smoking if you're a smoker. If you are a smoker, stop smoking. Reduce excess stress. Don't stress yourself unnecessarily. If you have not subscribed, I would like you to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up and click on the bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for subscribing, because I know you've done that. I'm talking on the food that can help you to reduce high blood pressure. Those things that can help you, particularly the kind of food that will help you to reduce your blood pressure. We thought about reduce excess stress. Don't stress yourself unnecessarily. A lot of parents are fond of stressing themselves unnecessarily over the children. The children get bored with your stress. Your health is crying, your own body is crying because of overstress. Please let us take it easy. You caution the child as at when do the necessary things you need to do. And remember that you don't own the universe. God takes control of a lot of things. So you do your own part and leave the rest to our Creator. Then you eat a lot of fruits. Eating of fruits should be a daily habit of yours. Make it a habit of taking a lot of fruits. Examples: apples, banana, grapes. Citrus grapes are very good. I know one will be thinking of the purple grapes because it's so expensive, but you can go for these citrus grapes, especially the red ones. They are very good and they are not bitter. You can take a lot of them. Pears, all forms of pears are good. Avocado pears, plums, watermelon, so oranges. They have a lot. Guavas, oranges and guavas gives a lot of vitamin C, and they can all help us to bring down our blood pressures. Also, eat fresh vegetables, a lot of them. Load your food with fresh vegetables. Onions are very good and can reduce your blood pressure. You can even make onion teas and drink. We have garlics, nuts, seeds, ginger, a whole lot of these spices. They are superfoods and they help in bringing down your blood pressure. Then keep yourself hydrated. Make sure you take enough water. Take enough water, especially when one is getting older. People that are 50s and above, a lot of time you don't feel thirsty, but drink water whether you're feeling thirsty or not. Make sure you drink enough water. Take as much as 8 glasses of water daily. They are very good for you. Do not take juice to replace water. Juice cannot take the place of water for you. You drink your water and take your juice, not the carbonated juice, but fresh juice if you must, like cranberry juice, raw beets, the beetroot. You can make juice out of it and drink. Take a lot of black tea, black and green tea. Black and green tea. Green tea is very good for us. It helps to bring down the blood pressure. It helps to reduce, symptoms of diabetes. It helps your heart. It's good for your heart health. So let's take enough of green tea. Make sure on daily basis you take green tea. If you can take as much as 5 cups a day, it is good for you. It is quite recommended and it will do you a lot of good. I hope we've been able to get some value. But before I go, I would like to give you a disclaimer. I want to make it clear to my subscribers that I am not a medical doctor or a medical personnel, but I've taken time to read, to study so much on health and healthy foods. And I have a lot of mentors. They are my health champions who have mentored me in so many ways, whether some of them know it or not. But I will still like to mention them here. Dr. Neil Bernard. Dr. Neil Bernard is one of my mentors. I so much enjoy his teachings a lot. Then Dr. Fritter of Atlanta, Georgia is one of them too. She's my mentor. I like to listen to her a lot as she teaches on so many health issues, and she has imparted into my life a lot. The healthline.com are so good. They've imparted my life a great deal. And the heart disease code too. They've imparted my life a great deal.
Introduce your name.
Once again, I'm Pastor Mrs. Rosemary Egbuonu. I'll be expecting you. If you have any comments, please go to the comment section and share your view. If you have any question, feel free to let us know. If there's anything bothering you on high blood pressure, feel free to ask your questions and we will get back to you. Expecting you next time.